Hey Internet, it's RJ. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into this show today. Now, today's episode, we're going around the net with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. So, on the docket for today, we have a lot to get to. We have a few travel stories for you. Capital One upgrading one of their abysmal credit cards. We now know what's happening to the Southwest credit cards and some travel lounge updates as well. We also have a very interesting trademark filing from Citi for a Citi Clear Cash under credit cards, points, and rewards system. So, of course, we'll close with some over speculation. So all that and more. So of course, if it sounds interesting to you, go ahead, press the subscribe button, and let's get to work. Now, we'll start with one of my least favorite credit cards of all, Capital One Venture Rewards. It's their $95 mid-tier travel card. It's one of those that I just simply don't know why it exists. Well, Capital One may be giving it a little bit more of a reason to exist. Possibly. So this comes to us from the Doctor of Credit, which is saying there have been reports that Capital One Ventures adding a $100 travel credit benefit. So you've got the statement on screen here. Good news, your Venture card now includes an annual $100 stays credit for hotel and vacation rental bookings. Through Capital One Travel, your credit will be renewed each year on your cardholder anniversary date with no enrollment needed. That is a nice touch. It will be ready within 72 hours of this message and can be viewed and applied at checkout. So, that's nice. It's probably in defense of the Sapphire Preferred, which is somewhat funny because as much as I don't love the Sapphire Preferred, its refresh, as you know, made it a decently competitive card in that weight class of $95. The Venture was still leagues behind that card, so finally maybe this is why they caved and added $100 to it. It's a nice credit. It does pay for the annual fee. It's nice that you don't have to enroll. It just sounds like you're going to have to remember to manually add it at checkout, so be aware of that. So again, not too bad there. Just, again, the underlying card itself, even if you did that, I don't know why you would have that card. There's so many better options. Now, continuing on, maybe you were booking a stay with Capital One. Perhaps you were catching a plane as well. And if it was going to be American Airlines and you decide to change your mind because, staying at home is always better, well, you need to be aware of their new cancellation policy. So, this one takes us from View from the Wing. So, American Airlines quietly ends the 24-hour refunds on last-minute tickets. So American now limits 24-hour refunds to bookings made at least a week in advance. Until this week, a non-refundable ticket bought directly from American at least 2 days before departure could be canceled within 24 hours for a refund to the original form of payment. American now says the ticket must be bought at least 7 days before departure. So, we've seen a string of ticky-tack fouls in this game as of late, I would say. And this is just another one. I mean, maybe they're trying to combat, people doing last-minute spur-of-the-moment things and then canceling. Or maybe they're trying to get away from people looking for, maybe it gets cheaper a day or two out because they're just trying to fill the plane. You do it, then you change your mind. I don't really know. Some of you travelers out there could probably tell me better. This just seems a bit much, but I'm sure they had their reasons. So, again, be mindful of that if you are booking an American Airlines flight. Now, again, if you didn't like the Capital One hotel credit, but you're more of an American Express fan, they now have a new transfer partner, which we'll take a look at now. The transfer partner is Leading Hotels of the World, which I feel like we've seen them come up before a few times, but American Express has added Leading Hotels of the World Club, LHW for short, as a transfer partner. So you can now transfer MR points to LHW at a rate of 1,000 membership reward points. Will get you 250 Leaders Club points. So it's a 4-to-1. So I don't know if that rate's ideal. However, if we go off of what, again, folks are saying, apparently these points are pretty valuable. So I guess you have to tell me if that makes up for the less than 1-to-1 transfer ratio. Citi also transfers them as well, but it's a 5-to-1. That was they did that back in October of 2023. They do sometimes run transfer bonuses as well. The doc reports have a 4-to-1, so it makes it a little bit better, on par with Amex. So apparently these points are valuable. They have about 400 properties worldwide. The points are normally valued about 8 cents each. So that gets you about 2 cents per point in value when transferring. The free nights start at 4,000 Leaders Club points or 16,000 membership reward points. And they also apparently have a lot of unique luxury properties that you don't see with the other chains. So there you go. I mean, that sounds like someone who's right up American Express's alley. Again, transfer ratio doesn't seem great to me, but again, I will take the words of folks who actually do these transfers. And apparently because of what they offer, even again, if it is 8 cents per point, and even at the calculation, you're still getting 2 cents per point. I don't think that's terrible, but the ratio is weird all the same. So there you go. Keep your eye out for transfer bonuses and things like that. If they run them with Citi, it's likely they'll run them with American Express too, so that might be the best time to do it. Now, no matter how much we dislike all the other travel stories, no one's more disliked or was more disliked than Spirit Airlines. They're gone but not forgotten because their credit cards are still around. However, they of course were closed to new applications. So now we finally know what's happening with these. Of course, Bank of America holds the cards, and so Bank of America has told you they are going to change these to a customized cash cards. Those are the red cards, the 321 cards. So again, a new card will be sent out. Of course, you can continue to use your new current card until the new one arrives. They are adding a $250 cash reward bonus to some accounts. It looks like if you didn't get a chance to hit the intro offer on the Spirit card, they might be giving it to you. It doesn't. I would think it'd be worth asking about it, but it does seem like some folks will be getting intro offers. Of course, there's an addition to that, you'll get 2% back on all purchases through September 30th. Now, again, that's some accounts. I don't know how they're specifying, but you've got those two things to potentially look forward to. And then, of course, the standard stuff, your account number, the interest rate, credit line won't change. Foreign transaction fees will continue to apply. Normally, the card did have a 3% foreign transaction fee, so, I don't know if Spirit could actually make it across the Atlantic or Pacific, so that makes sense. So overall, customized cash, not bad. I have 3 of them myself, of course, for Bank of America rewards, but you get to choose one category of your choice, and that's going to earn you 3%, up to $2,500 in spend a quarter. And you can also change that category once per month, which is nice because a lot of the category cards you cannot change. Like the U.S. Bank, once you're locked in, you're locked in. So that is nice. Restaurants, dining, gas, I think home improvement, online is another big one as well. Now, for whatever reason this is you and you do have a Spirit card, it would be advantageous to consider applying for a customized cash card if you go to their website. I don't know that they're still running it. I think it was through the World Cup, but they were running it. Bank of America had an offer where that 3% was going to be 6% for the first year for new card holders. Bank of America is a little bit weird, or a little bit friendlier in the sense that, you can obviously have multiple cards. You didn't have to do the whole cancel or product change and apply for a new one. So it might not matter, but I would just double check to turn it off. I'm just thinking of it now as we're going through this. If that's something of interest to you, it is a pretty good offer for a free card. Of course, you're going to get it, and you're not going to get 6%, would have been nice. But, one of the things Bank of America, again, does that is nice is when we've seen them on occasion force change cards or even offer offers to get you using the card again, they have offered something as well. So the cash bonus and the 2% is nice. Again, I don't know how they're deciding who gets it, but, more than a lot of people do. Now, moving right along to everyone's favorite internet space pirate to hate is Elon Musk and X Money. We've talked about it before, but it is now rolling out to Twitter Premium or X Premium users. Again, this is Elon Musk's banking product, I guess you could call it. It was reported they had a $25 intro offer, plus Captain Kirk was throwing in $1 back in the day. Of course, it was going to give a debit card with cash back, a 6% APY. The card is metal, of course, as you can see there. So I don't have X Premium. I did have a buddy send me a link that I can get a discount for it. I thought about trying it to see if I can get access to this, just really for the video sake. I mean, I kind of want the card just as a collector's item, I guess. No one thinks this will last, of course. But from what I saw, even if you're in premium, you have a little check mark. It seems somewhat spotty. Who gets it, who doesn't, but I'm thinking about trying it just for the heck of it, why not? It seems like it'd make a fun thing to have. I want it to last. I just mean no actual bank has been able to pull this off, and so I don't know why his would last. But again, if you're a Twitter user or X user, it's out there. If you got in, let me know. Hopefully it goes better than getting in for something like Robinhood Gold. Now, back to travel lounges. We have a change with the Chase Sapphire lounges, which could be good or bad depending on how you look at it and where you land. So if you remember, Sapphire lounges, we talked about it last week. They opened up one in DFW, and if you wanted to get in, it's Sapphire Reserve, Business Reserve, JP Morgan Reserve, and Ritz-Carlton card. Now, because Sapphire Reserves are kind of like in partnership / run by the club, which is under Priority Pass, folks who just had regular, like a Priority Pass membership, you got like one pass a year, and then you could buy discounted tickets if you wanted, specifically for Sapphire lounges. Well, it looks like that is no more. So I didn't see an official announcement, but I found this from TPG. So Chase, they updated the access rules. So starting August 15th, Priority Pass and Lounge Key members lose the one free pass per year, along with discounted passes of $75 after that. So I think they'll still be able to pay a $100 entry fee if you wanted to. So you can still pay to play. It really can't be worth $100. I wouldn't think. You'd have to eat and drink so much, which, some of you probably just heard that as a challenge. So I guess make sure to live stream it. So there's that change. And then also August 15th, eligible card members traveling on an itinerary with a connection can access a Sapphire Lounge up to 5 hours before their scheduled connecting flight, an increase from the current 3-hour limit. So that is a nice touch as well. Obviously a simple way to combat overcrowding. I'm pretty sure you can still buy passes for $100 if you want. I think that's the way it read. But again, $100 isn't worth it. It's only a free pass, but again, many of you out there have many Priority Pass memberships, and that'd be one pass per membership. So anything they can do, and of course it pushes Chase's cards as well. We just saw them do a big push on both Sapphire Reserve and Business. I got the Business one myself for the intro offer this past, over the spring and summer months really. So I guess it just kind of makes sense. I don't have a whole lot to say about this. It was kind of weird when they were letting Priority Pass in, but again, I assume that was part of the original partnership, and somehow they got them to agree to drop that. So there you go. Enjoy your lounge room, or find a different one if that's how you were getting into it. Now, what I think is the most interesting non-story that I'm going to make into a story is Citibank. As you know, Citi has sunset the custom cash at the time of taping. Again, those of us who have hoarded custom caches still have them. Product changing is hit or miss from what I see on the internet. Kind of depends on who you talk to, which is not uncommon. So we have a new trademark filed by Citi. Compliments of Mr. Ask Sebi himself. I saw this in one of his vids recently. So you have it on screen from Justia Trademarks. Citi Clear Cash. You can see this was filed back on June 18th, so not too long ago. But if you go down into goods and services, promoting the sale of goods and services of others, of offers through administration, yada, 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 credit card registration services, providing incentive rewards programs for credit card users through issuance and processing of rewards points, cashback, or rewards provisioning of customer information. So long story short, it sounds like a credit card trademark. So what does it mean? Well, these things happen. Wells Fargo still has cards that they trademark, for example. Sometimes nothing happens. But with Citi, the Strata line did get found out. The names got found out this way. So I would bet this turns into something. Now, I sort of agree with Mr. Sebi's point in the sense that he said, if you read into the name Clear Cash, it could be Citi thinking that the custom cash for Gen Pop people was a little bit confusing. Obviously, it was designed that you just keep swiping away, and then they'll just give you 5% in your top spend category. But that might be not less than preferable to normal people who don't care enough to put a label on each one of their custom caches and use it specifically at a spot, like I do and many of you do. So Clear Cash could represent something like, hey, we're going to make it very clear, like you will pick the category, which has been done a ton of times. He was thinking something more along the lines of US Bank Cash Plus. I disagree. I think it'll actually end up being a 3-2-1 card like the Bank of America Customized Cash we talked about earlier. I can see where part of the problem of the custom cash would be folks don't like having to pay attention that much, because then when do I use my double cash? When do I use my custom cash? Maybe I don't want to have to remember, things that are very easy, but people have problems with very easy things for whatever reason. I can definitely see that part of it. The other thing is, again, there's still so many of us using so many of these for a specific category. I still think that was likely a big problem for Citi as well. And so perhaps they've learned their lesson. Now they've had the dividend card, they had the custom cash card, so they're no stranger to having a 5% card. And it'd be somewhat weird to not have a 5% card given Chase does, and they're kind of competitors there. But if you really look at it, and Wells Fargo doesn't really, US Bank does, Bank of America doesn't unless you're preferred reward. So I think they could get away with it making it a 3-2-1 card, really, and then likely force changing the custom cash is over. I would have thought this would have been lined up sooner. Honestly, I would have thought they would have closed, because remember, the Rewards Plus went away, and then it wasn't too long after that we got the Strata and the force changes over to that. So I would have thought this would have happened quicker, but either way, we have a new Citi Clear Cash name. I'm going to guess this does come to pass, and my guess is this is going to be like a 3-2-1 card, something that could be somewhat helpful. I mean, it's almost too similar to the Strata, but you do get to pick your own cash. It's almost too similar to the Strata to be a 3-2-1 card, so maybe it will be a 5% card. You see, but even if you can choose your category, I don't know if that fixes their problem. So whatever, if I just choose a category, so be it. We're right back where we started. So then maybe they put in limitations that you could only have one of them or something like that. Or maybe we're all wrong and it was really just not as popular with the gem population as we thought. So anyways, there you have it. Let me know what your thoughts and hopes and dreams are on the Citi Clear Cash card down below. But anyways, that'll be the news for this week. So of course, if you liked it, drop me a thumbs up down below. If you find it particularly interesting, consider subscribing to the channel. So we're posting content just like this every single week. And of course, we're right back here every Sunday with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. And of course, every single day over on profitablecontent.com, which is of course the channel's blog. We have the latest news stories just like this, plenty of bank promotions, and some credit card offers on occasion. Anyways, guys, that'll do it for this one. As always, thank you so much for watching, and talk to you very soon in the next one.